So I think we are live. कोई कोई चीज़ें देखते हैं, हम लोग सेटअप कर लेते हैं. So ये स्ट्रीम बेसिकली है कि I have always been कि like I have certain skills. Oh, first let me introduce myself. uh, my name is Chinmay और uh, I'm a web developer. So basically I'm going to be streaming every day, or at least often, so uh, I can stream basically what I'm learning, what I'm building, and how I'm doing. So the actual reason for basically creating this channel and the idea for streaming is I have never documented what I do usually. So मुझे वो जो मैंने काइंड ऑफ रिग्रेट जैसा कि आई हैव दैट रिग्रेट ऑफ not stream not not streaming, just not documenting what I did. So I've always end up in situations when someone asks me like, what did you do, how did you do this, and I have no clue and I can't explain anything. So this is this this for me is like an exercise to basically build that muscle to document myself and share how I learn, share how I think. So like, what is the agenda for this? So the agenda for this stream is kind of simple. Yeah. To document my document basically, what am I going to be documenting? I'm going to be documenting learning achievements. uh, Projects. uh, I'm also thinking of doing DSA, but I'm not sure on that thing. So like I want to keep it simple, so like I do not clutter myself with a lot of things. I do also have like kind of an checklist I want to achieve by like end of this year. I kind of have a blog. I don't condone this blog. This is just very poorly made, but I just wanted to document or just put out there that I wanted to achieve like these things, and till this point I think things are looking good. I learned to drive this year, started JavaScript. The weird thing about it is like when I initially learned uh, like web dev in my like college first or like college second year, I think BSc, I did BSc computer science. In my second year, I realized I like web development. So I was like, let's do like I uh, I am like a firm believer in that. No, key you learn, like for me personally at least, I like to do things before I learn something. So means, let's say I want to I want to learn Linux. Okay. So instead of learning X initially, like instead of just reading docu documentation or going through YouTube videos, instead of doing this, I dove head first into basically making whatever I wanted to do. I wanted to make like a silly website or something like that. So I did that, got into like got blocked. Like I initially dove into documentation to the fact to like setting up a project, how what's the syntax, how do I do it. This is more in like I was at that time I was learning React. But the thing for this statement, like JavaScript, I had I had not touched JavaScript before diving into React. So so I was like, yeah, instead of doing that, dove straight into React. And React, like JS specifically, not React Native or anything else, React JS, because it was good at the time, it was trendy at the time. I did it, but after a certain while, I realized I never learned how React basically rendered, or like how React under the hood worked. Like I learned things like how callback worked, how the mechanisms worked, but I never dove into a level deeper into basically what the JavaScript used to be to write certain React code and React functions to be implemented. So I never actually learned the JavaScript which enables me to like understand React in a better way. I still do use React, but I was like, the lack of me not understanding JavaScript, I could not bear with that. So I chose to go back, circle back on the drawing board, and I was like, we'll do JavaScript. It's currently on hold for a month or two at this point. I have got if I can tell, I am referring to, I'm like learning the JavaScript from here, like the entire JavaScript reference basically. So JavaScript guide, I have almost been through the initial JavaScript guide, and since it has been a bit of time, I think I'm going to revisit most of the topics and check to like re-verify how much do I understand. DSA haven't touched. I wanted to touch this for a long time. This might be a shock or like this is my how do I say the procrastinating me. I have still not learned TypeScript. Do I want to learn TypeScript? Yes. How much time have I given to it? Till date, zero, unfortunately. I have learned to drive. I did not know how to drive till, well, start of this year. I have a project which I made for for my MC. I had recently completed my masters in computer application uh, and a specialization in full stack. So for the final year, we had to build a full stack capstone project. It was we had some few options, so I had chosen a banking app. We'll get to this later, or you can just go to the website and see. Next is a resume builder CLI. This I think I got an idea with. Yeah, I think render CV. Yeah. So this was the original inspiration for building this render CV. They actually programmatically generate files like resumes. They have predefined resumes. Yeah, you define a YAML file with whatever. They have a pre-templated design. You can just you can that's an init call when you do this. Yeah, pip install render CV new. Yeah, this is like initializing the first CV. Then you get a template. You can edit that template. It's cool. It is nice. Now now they have an skill agent skill also. Okay, that is nice. I didn't see for a long time. So what I'm thinking is somewhere around making a UI for it, but not in a way like how this works. I intend to do a little variation of that. uh, this is an order tracking API. I have kind of built it, but it's more in the sense, let me show that. Okay, yeah. So basically, I wanted to do this an order tracking system, but the thing is, I wanted to teach a friend also, web dev basically. So I had to rebuild the entire scope of the project for so I can make my friend better understand like what like how we would be making the how do we do web dev or just making software. So that was the case. So we chose a stack for like fast API for our front backend, plain old React, and for our database we choose Cassandra. But Cassandra is a wide column database, and for the specific use case for how I wanted to basically have the order tracking system, Cassandra was a good choice. It is still I still stand by it, but we yesterday we migrated it back to we migrated it to Postgres because uh, me me personally I'm a cheapskate. uh, Me personally I'm a cheapskate, and I don't like to spend unnecessary amount of money. Not spend like if something is worth spending money, I will spend it, but for testing purposes I feel not spending money is good. So we choose Railway to deploy this, and in Railway's free tier, we have 1 gig of RAM, and I had forgotten that just for Cassandra to just boot up under the hood, it uses JVM, so it runs on a virtual machine. Then we have the database actually running. So we hit a wall when we saw an OOM. If you don't know what an OOM is, out of memory. So just even getting the database getting started on the Railway instance, we got an OOM. So I was like, how much I like to use Cassandra for this. I think we have to see the reality, and we went back to like the basic, the vanilla. Now what people say vanilla is, used to be MySQL or things like that. But Postgres it is. So yesterday we migrated back to Postgres. I would be trying to deploy with my friend today or tomorrow sometimes. So I'll see, like tomorrow is going to be like, if I'm able to deploy it, that's it. So the point that I'm making for it today is because this was supposed to be a project which was going to be built by me for personally me, because this was supposed to be written in Go, because I wanted to learn Go, but my friend also wanted to learn, and he's, I would say, less experienced than me. He has never built anything, no, has never written an actual working program. So he was like, wanted to learn. So I was like, yeah, we can bend some pipes, and we went with Python, because he's more he has a data science background. So uh, Python was going to suit him, so we went with that. But I'm going to rewrite it in the future. It's ticked here, should not be, but it will have a rewrite later. So for learning, as I mentioned, I wanted to learn Go and TypeScript are on my list. I want to get my hands dirty with them before, like by next month or by the end of this month somewhere. Custom trends tracker, this was something also I wanted to build. I kind of don't have any clue how, what are going to be like the parameters or metrics which I'm going to pull to have like a relevant feed. It's like kind of doing what daily.dev is doing, like how they have an AI, they will skim through the internet, scour and scavenge content or media which is curated to your liking. This is somewhat that, but I have kind of very little idea of what and how I'm going to implement this. So this is going to be something very last on my list. 5 format converter, I had done this previously. I had done I used FFmpeg previously, which I come to convert like file formats, basically video formats. But I wanted to make a general, like how they, like you can just search file format converter, right? You can just search something up and be like, yeah, you'll find hundreds of them, and you would be like, why am I making this one? My goal is to have something implemented nicely, and I think this is going to be local rather than deployed. I will think of deploying it if if I can pay for compute. Until then, I'd like to self-host basically. This is also an idea of an LMS attendance system, just a small, like not the entire LMS concept, just a small component or a subset where we can track attendance. added a bit more feature. This was inspired by, I think that is content for like content or information for next time, because it needs a bit of detail and context. And QR code, this is also something I had done for a research project in my like BSc. So I'll get on that. Fix my GitHub, this was already done because I had unnecessary GitHub repos which had unnecessary things which I still do not care for. I kept most of the thing I cared for, but most of the things are now gone. Quantum computing was something I was very interested and intrigued even before, like there is some form of hype recently for quantum computing, but I think not think I was like way interested in quantum computing. I was acquainted with quantum computing like a very long time ago. So like as a kid I was like, quantum computing is so cool. Like the first I had heard about quantum computing, I think Google or IBM. These they were the only one who had a quantum computer, and the actual physics or actual physics or the quantum mechanics, how we use qubits to basically compute a certain value, is very interesting to me, and I wanted to learn a much deep. I wanted to go a step deeper because I had known quantum computing as a surface level topic for a very long time. And UI UX revamping, I think this is more like of a challenge which I wanted to do. Just see website businesses which have websites and redesign them to have better UI, better UX, or combination of both. And like we can do challenge I can do like challenges where I redesign websites or touch up websites basically by improving UX or certain components of a website. There are like, I think, UI challenges like in an hour you can do UI UX challenges. Yeah, I think uh, there was something uh, I forgot the website. I don't think this. No, this is not the one. But you get the idea just for it. So design 10 landing pages in like 1 hour. Simple landing pages, but I think you get the. If you are getting the idea, that's good. If not, who who cares? Okay, so I think this stream was basically to like address what future content or future live streams topics that you could expect. Is there anything more I had to touch up? Let's what was it? Okay, so learnings covered. Achievements are more like projects I completed. Maybe I got a client or something. That and projects I think we already covered from this. DSA is something I have done on and off very like a lot of times, but I have never stuck to it. So I think a mix of all of these in live streams, I think that would be a go, but I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what kind of mix I'm going to be doing, but these are things I'm going to be doing. Whether to a full extent, whether partially, I'm going to do it because the one thing, like for this live stream, is that I want to, throw away regret of, not documenting uh, my skills and talent, or maybe they have gone, they have vanished. Let's consider I'm back to zero, and you know will learn like I used to. I still do. So yeah, I I think this covers like future scope for everything I'm going to do live streaming, or of the stream as well. Hmm. So I think this is it. And if you watch this stream, comment, don't comment. I think it doesn't matter, but if you get to learn from this, probably you won't. And if you want to help me, join me. Uh, you know, you can contribute to my work on. You can ask for collaboration. I'd love to help people. I love to collaborate with people. So that's it. I think I'm gonna end the stream, and nobody was here. But if someone just watches a stream after for no reason, you know, maybe this would be fun. Maybe this would give context to people. But I think this stream was more necessary to me than, unfortunately, for anyone who's watching. And maybe I'm gonna end this. Okay. Bye. Okay. Bye.